Good morning, Marie. I can see that it's going to be one of the scorcher days. Yes. This is the sign.
Yeah, I just need a bit of a cool environment to work in today.
Yes, it's going to be well in the 30s.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
So you're ready for the heat as well, honey. I love what you're both wearing. You're sort of Riviera chic, honey. And then you're Marrakesh.
Okay.
And Lancelot is rocking his best nudist chic.
Nudist?
Yes, nudist chic for Lancelot.
Oh, he's so excited to go.
I'm heading over to join everyone in the weekly chapel meeting with the architect. We had a really great meeting in the chapel today, and they're moving so quickly now. You can see that the gilder has put most of the patterns back onto the walls. He's still coming back the week after next to carry on. And it was extraordinary when he was doing it, because I walked into the chapel that day and there were just bits of gold leaf stuck to the walls in squares, because the following day he was going to be unveiling the pattern underneath. When he'd finished, it left the pattern itself in gold leaf, but the outlines were a little bit blurry, as Benoit was explaining yesterday, because sometimes the glue goes underneath the edges of the stencil, and this stencil is very, very fine. It's unusually delicate for gold leafing. And then they have to transform it from this to what we finally see on the walls now. So after that, Benoit's team have been tidying up the edges and adding the tiny black lines that give definition to the pattern. And can you imagine doing that over 250 times around the chapel? The patience is extraordinary. And yesterday you saw that they were painting around these golden scrolls. And after that, they've already added all of this colour, the leaves and the fruit. It's really coming together quickly. This isn't a stencil, it's a template, but it's actually the one that's exciting me the most today. And you can see there's little pinpricks so that they can put this onto a wall and mark the outline of the pattern that they're going to paint, not stencil. And that is for one of the two holy water fonts. As you walk in, one of them luckily still had its painted decoration. The other had lost it almost entirely. And now, for the first time, we're seeing it painted again. That's the one that didn't have it.
Yep, that's the one I did not have. Most of it actually was mainly just beige.
Yeah, and now look at it, it's absolutely magnificent. So I'm looking forward to seeing them do all of the base of it and everything else, because there'll be no visible stone, I think, at the end. I think everything is going to be painted, though I could be wrong. Do you think there's going to be visible stone?
I think it's like supposed to be like a lilac-y thing with a black outline, look.
Oh, I see, yes, the black outlines.
Have you seen, by the way, that on either side of the altar, the brackets have been repainted? Nearly fully.
Which brackets?
The two little shelves.
Oh my goodness!
They've started.
Look at the edging, the gold edging of them. This is so beautiful. And we've just noticed, most exciting of all, and we didn't know this, they've started restoring the altar. Here, they've just started painting along here and the base. They're repainting this buff colour. But that just shows, it's just the beginning, but this is going to be one of the most spectacular transformations, I think, when the altar is restored and gleaming. On my way back from the chapel, I can hear a lot of banging and crashing going on in Arette, which is excellent news, because it means Amaury has started back in that room. That's his next project now, and he's decided he's going to be in there until it's finished. Good morning, Natty.
Hello, good
morning. I love that dress on you.
Thank you very much. I'm like a little... I don't know. What would you say?
I would put you in Mexico. We're all different places. Yeah. We've got Côte d'Azur, Marrakesh, Mexico, and I don't know what I am. I think it might be North Africa along with Marie. Marie and I just have a Marrakesh moment in the house.
Yeah.
We're all from different countries at the moment, different continents.
But I'm happy that I found you here, because we had a few cancellations for next weekend. 2 rooms. So they're available from the 25th of July for up to 4 nights. Ooh. So if anybody is around and wants to do a last minute, yeah, we have for 2, 3 or 4 nights. And yeah, we have Chambre, which is a single room, and the Marquise apartment.
Basically, we're fully booked, aren't we?
Yes.
Pretty much the whole year. So the only time we have availability is when cancellations come up.
Exactly.
So we will let you all know in the videos when that happens.
Watch the videos and take a look in Instagram as well, because normally I post there as well when we have the last minute cancellations. Chateau de Lalande Instagram. Yeah.
Now I'm heading outside to meet up with Amaury and Philip, who are trying to unearth the panelling that I bought ages ago and that we're going to use in Arette. It's just very, very simple panelling, and Amaury was a little bit uncertain when I bought it. Apparently it is not of the greatest quality, even though it's oak. It's just very old and rickety. But he thinks he can use it in Arette.
Should we just bring it all up to the room?
Well, I think that might clutter Amaury's space.
We can look at it and decide how you want to attach it. There's two different types.
Yeah, I think there's two different types. It's old oak panelling, probably about 100 or so years old. Maybe a couple of hundred, actually.
These are bits and put the top.
Oh, yeah, we've still got a bit of dado. Oh, and these are the big bits. Great. That's less good, isn't it? That's probably the bits you meant when you said it was pretty bad. They're not great.
Let's take them apart.
Okay.
So we might have to make this shorter so I can cut them square and retongue them.
Right. Because these are good.
They're not too bad. Can we put it in the bathroom?
A bit more than I thought. Yeah.
I think we need to take the rest out.
There's more, is there?
Yes. Well, many more bigger pieces. It'll be big, small, big, small,
Yeah,
big,
all
small.
the way around.
You might not actually have a lot left.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to use you for this. I'll probably pinch a couple of styles of the good pieces to replace the bad pieces.
Amaury's taken a couple of bits of panelling up. We want to see how the height of the panelling works with the room, because he thinks that he's going to actually cut the panelling down a little bit, because that way he can make it much neater, much tidier. But we want to know, will it come up to the windowsill or not? Do you think we can do that? We can come up to that?
Well, the skirting's at 200, so we can always cut that down. But just to bear in mind though, you've got 80mm here, plus the sill board. So you won't have a deep skirting if you want to keep it that height.
Okay.
I think that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Because then it'll look as though the panelling
Was designed
because of the window height, as opposed to us trying to rejig old panelling randomly into a room.
Okay. That's going to be level.
Ah, we're having a big fight. Basically, Amaury can't do anything that isn't level because it hurts his very soul. And here, in order for our plasterboard to be level, it means that we cut in front of the window and dog leg back. So this is the big debate in the house. I'm thinking it'll be better for it not to be level, and then we can just kick behind the window. So we're leaving that bit till last, yes? See how we feel when we get to it. It's a pity that thing's just so wonky.
But what do you want to do though with the radiator?
I was going to ask. The radiator's going to be underneath the window, right?
Sorry?
The radiator's going to be underneath the window.
Yeah.
If there are any of the big ones left of these, just to not put the boards back in that you're taking out, and put the mesh in that we still got, the brass mesh.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
that's a really good idea.
Kicking it forward.
Yeah.
Then it all looks the same all the way around.
Yeah. Okay.
If we've got spare.
Oh no, we've got that's yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be a very beautiful room when it's done.
I think so too. If we get rid of the Pepto-Bismol.
We're definitely getting rid of the Pepto-Bismol paint. Shall we just show everyone else the disaster one more time? One last time. Boom!
Look, this one's not bad. This one's horrible.
They're both awful. There's too much lilac in the middle. Anyway, that's the worst design decision we ever made. And we're going to be hiding the evidence as soon as possible. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you to it. I think it's going to look superb in there, but I can't stay here any longer. I have to get back to that attic. You look absolutely beautiful. This is your new dress.
Yes, it is actually. Yeah, I thought it might be too cold for today, but
Casual Marie. No, because it goes really well with that. You look really pretty going out for lunch.
yes,
Have fun.
thank you.
Here we are, back at it. No discernible difference made after yesterday's clear out, but this is fascinating. It's a plan of the entire estate as it was in the past that we found in the attic. So you can see it's a huge estate. It would have been 600 acres, and this is the only area that we have. Just around Lalande, we have 60 acres. What is fascinating about this is that it's the shape that it used to be before the renovations in the 19th century. So you can see that, in fact, there was a little tiny extra wing that came out in the middle of what is now the main courtyard. The main courtyard comes to just past it now, and the new secondary courtyard has been built instead of this building, which was destroyed, over here and over where the moat was. And then the vegetable garden is in the same place, and that's where the lake was. It will be going back in a much smaller area in future. Our neighbour's barn and house, which were the home farm for Lalande in the past, it's called the Farm of Lalande, they're still exactly the same. Isn't it wonderful to see? And it looks as though there was much less woodland because this is marked as fields, whereas now this entire area is woodland around here. And we don't have this huge body of water here either. As you can see, it's in very bad condition. This is how we found it in the attic. But luckily our friend John knows someone who restores paper. So I'm going to take that down from the attic now and we'll put it in our apartment ready to take over to John, to his friend, when we next go that way. So let's get everything out of the attic and properly restored and up on a wall. It's going quite well. I've managed to get rid of a huge pile of magazines, most of which I just binned. And in amongst them, I found a little book that I got ages ago and that I thought I'd lost. And Philip's going to be so excited. The Art of Laying the Table by Luc Lanel, who was one of the designers for Christophe in the Art Deco period. And in fact, one of his silver-plated services we have here. I'll see if I can find it here. It's this one, Boreal, which I always used to use for the breakfast, but I think we're using something different now. But the book is delightful. It goes through every possible different type of meal that one could have, starting with candlelit supper. Then, of course, breakfast, and frankly, I would love breakfast to look like that every day. Lunch. Snack. I suppose the French version of afternoon tea. Ah, the bridging snack. Well, in fact, no, that is their afternoon tea. I like this. They get a snack and a bridging snack to take you through to cocktail hour because, of course, it's still not dinner time yet. Or is it? Mais oui, c'est le dîner. And what comes after dinner? Ah, a special hunt dinner, of course. And then supper, in case you're still a bit peckish later on. And then the different ways of laying out the table. In spite of the fact that it is hotter than the face of the sun up in the attic at the moment, I love clearing. It feels like Christmas. But the next box looks as though it's going to be much harder to tackle. There is so much in here, and it looks as though a lot of it might be meaningful. Starting with this, which I was really happy to see when I opened it. This brings back so many memories. Sam is one of Nick's best friends from school, and this was his column in one of the newspapers. I can't actually remember which one. Blow me, when my old friend, short, grumpy Nick, I can't tell you how much that entertained me when this came out, announced that he was thinking about trading in his tiny flat in Stoke Newington to go and live in a chateau in France. I never thought he'd actually go and do it. But now here we are. It's a glorious autumn evening. The forest floor is carpeted with chestnuts. We're sitting on the terrace of an actual full-on 15th century chateau, chewing on delicious French nibbles, looking down over a carp-thronged lake. But the best thing is definitely the last paragraph. I'm wondering unworthily whether the world might not be a better place if I could somehow arrange for Nick to be strangled to death with Peter Miles's lower intestine. This is definitely staying. In yesterday's discoveries, I told you a bit more about my parents' life and how they met. And today I found their wedding photo. Aren't they beautiful? I suppose everyone thinks that about their parents. I know I'm biased, but they are lovely. And then here, I think that this must be the first car outside what I'm guessing was the caravan. I wish Mummy were here. I'd ask her, Mummy, can you tell us in the comments, is this the caravan that you first bought with Daddy? And there I am, already planning my future in a chateau, I suspect, which came from way too much reading of Cinderella. But now I'm going to stop because I'm actually melting. I'm going to be a puddle in a minute, and I've done quite a lot again. And if I just keep nibbling away at it every day, I will get there. Sébastien and Manu are taking down the scaffolding. Ça y est, vous avez fini.
Ça y est.
La pierre est en place.
Voilà, on a remis votre pierre en place.
On la verra quand il n'y a pas l'échafaudage. C'était vraiment dur de filmer quand il y avait l'échafaudage devant. Et quelqu'un vient chercher l'échafaudage demain, c'est ça?
Oui, c'est ça. Il y aura avec un petit camion.
Et Philippe me disait que après vous allez commencer à re-attaquer l'église d'Aigurande. Voilà, vous seriez entre ici et Aigurande.
Entre vous et...
Mais ça c'est chouette qu'on ait tout à côté, voilà, les deux sites que vous faites.
Même pour nous, deux chantiers côte à côte, c'est...
Oui, c'est rare.
Pour nous, c'est magnifique.
Oui, et j'aime beaucoup l'église à Aigurande. Et j'aime ce que vous aviez fait déjà, alors il me tarde de voir les nouvelles chapelles finies.
Parfait, merci.
Bon, ben je vous laisse. Merci. All right, darling, off we go. Lancelot and I are going for our evening walk. It is a beautiful evening.
Well, this is a completely unexpected surprise. I didn't know that the hedge had been trimmed. Nick was talking about how important it is, and Mummy had also been telling me that we needed to do that so that it starts to thicken out at the base rather than getting too leggy at the top. And look, I mean, I'm guessing it must be Jean-Christophe who came in and did this. But gosh, so much has been taken off. It looks really tidy, and I love the fact that he's left it a little bit taller here so that we can create an archway there. And I think he's carried on, yes, in here. He's carried on. It's so beautiful. Oh, I'm very happy to see this. That side is yet to be done, so there's a reminder of what it was before. And this is what we have now, a lovely, orderly hedge. Okay, darling, time for us to head back because I have an urge for a whiskey soda. Oh, look, there are the little ones. They are darling. It's good to see that they're still well and with their mother. Now that is just what I needed whilst I wait for Philip and Hanny to get back from the supermarket with dinner. It's you two again. A bit of a dream team at the local supermarket. I love your apron, darling.
It matches my shirt.
So tonight's lasagna?
Yes.
Delicious. Oh, it's looking good.
Thank you. Have you seen how everything's matching? The lasagna dish, the shirt.
The apron. Always match your lasagna dish to your shirt.
The shirt, the shawlek. The shawlek is the Limburg word for apron. I couldn't think of it. Anyway, everything's matching.
Well, I was looking forward to showing you all of us eating together in the kitchen. But I don't know what happened just over the course of the last hour. I've started to feel quite shivery and achy and like I'm coming down with something. So I have been sent to bed, and apparently Philip will be bringing me a little bit of lasagna and some chicken stock with vermicelli, which is the cure-all in this chateau. Hopefully by the time I chat to you all tomorrow, I'll have had a good sleep and I'll be feeling tickety-boo again. And if not, I'll be chatting to you from this bed. And until then, à demain.